Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. How money should be used in the game. Now, very often I'll say, me, I talk about the body game, sometimes other types of game. And I always get like one or two people in the comments, or at least one. And not just me, but other people who are seen as dating coaches get the same thing. People say, oh, as long as you got a fat wallet or you got money. In fact, I've seen that on videos that have nothing to do with this sector or dating coaching. Like I've seen some videos where they talk about, ask what a woman wants and people say money, money and all of that. Really, that's all tricking. But money can and should be used in the game. Now, I have some points on how to use that money in the game. I got some points. I got 8 points. There's probably some more, but if you use money following these guidelines, you will more than likely not win in the game. More likely than not to win in the game. Let me say that right. So here are the things that money should be used for in the game. The first thing, education/job training. If you got money, you got a little bit of extra money, instead of tricking it off on that woman who is going to give it to somebody else for free anyway, or taking a woman on an expensive date who she going to have you drop her off at her uncle's house, and I'm using some air quotes, uncle's house, you want to like really secure your own bag. You want to make sure your thing is going good. Now, in order to do that in this culture, for most things, you're going to need education, which leads to a good job, or just straight up job training. In fact, the way things going nowadays, if you can get certified in something in like 6 months, you're probably doing better off. But that's up to you, depending on what you want to do. But spend that money on yourself to educate yourself. And that's going to lead to a point later on. Spend your money on that. Because, look, and it's not even to get women. It's so you got a roof over your head. And trust me, a woman, she ain't even if she don't want your money, she looks at you better if you have your own spot than if you live with your family or your sister or living on some couch, especially if you older. And there's nothing wrong with those things if you in transition. But you got some cats, they pretty much gonna be there. So you want to be constantly training and constantly learning new skills, just so you can eat. So that's the first thing. Because women want to see that man who has control over his own life. And in this society, since the overwhelming majority of men don't hunt for their own food or build their own homes, need money to get those things. The second thing, spend money on a gym membership, and if you have a little bit extra, get a personal trainer. Give it there. Trust me. People who know me know I push the body game. Women, they'll come out their pockets with money if you got a nice body. And that's the key thing that turns a woman on sexually, is the body. So instead of getting some money and think you're going to trick off of some women, try to impress her when she's going to cheat on you anyway, get that gym membership. Be the type of guy she would cheat with. And like pay up, you can pay a good personal trainer really a little bit of money. It's not even that much when you think about it. Think about how much you will spend trying to trick off of some woman who don't want you, or versus that personal trainer where a few sessions a month and you could be kicking ass. Think about it. Spend money for a good dentist. Women look at teeth. Keep them healthy. And plus, that can affect the rest of your body. But good dental health. And really, I'm going to put dentist/doctor. Take care of your health. Take care of anything pop up, you need to be able to deal with it. Spend money on that. Get a good insurance. Take care of your health. Get regular checkups. Boom. 4, spend it on your clothing style. Because, let's be real. If you listen to this video, you still want to get the women. That's normal. But if you have a good physique, good dental health, good overall health, you needed some clothes to show off that health. You need some nice clothes. Invest in some durable quality clothing. They don't even have to be that expensive. I know some dudes who could afford like high-end stuff, but they'll wait till stuff go on clearance. You can always find good stuff with like cheap prices, but invest that money in the clothes. Vehicle. Unless you live someplace where you have easy access to public transportation, or it's not practical, because I know in some cities like New York, there are like places you don't necessarily need a vehicle. But if you live any place else, get a vehicle. A man, you know what? It makes a difference to a woman if you can drive around. Trust me, they looking at those things. Even if they don't want you to trick on them, they want to feel like the man they have can handle his own shit. Then they need to be able to look up to him. And it gives you the ability to just go and do. So, like, invest that in a vehicle. And just to be clear, all of these aren't in any particular order. Get to them as you can. A home. And it could be a house. It could be an apartment. A condo. And like I said earlier, I mean, there might be a transition period where you might need to live with somebody or even get a room in the house, but always have that focus to have your own space. Focus on having your own space. One, every man should have his space where he can just be himself, that he has control over. He can chill out, do whatever, but is under his control. He has responsibility for everything. And 7 is related to the first one about education. Invest in some books. Every man should be reading something of a nonfiction nature to expand his mind. And now, it don't have to be anything deep and philosophical. It could be some stuff on business, some stuff on how to fix stuff, some stuff on history. It could be philosophical. Just do something. Get some books up there because you want to expand your mind. And then expanding your mind, when you have a conversation with a woman, you got something to talk about. And if you could, in fact, one of my mentors would say every single man should master a body of knowledge. Every single man, there should be at least one thing that he's just knowledgeable about. It could be cars. It could be bees. It could be how to grow like award-winning like roses. But every single man should have at least one thing that he can master. And a lot of times he can do that through knowledge. He can do that through books. He should be reading. Every single man should be literate. So even one, you're doing it for your own empowerment, but then as a secondary thing, women can get turned on if you can communicate something to her in an intelligent manner. Because women, whether they articulate it this way or not, they always want some guy to show them something new. Hit her with something. Hit her with something intelligently and with some passion. Boom. And then 8, put the extra money in your savings and invest it. Like right now, there's an investment opportunity I might take. I'm just waiting on something though. I gotta look at something and I gotta see a plan. But I might invest in somebody's business. Yeah, Ron's been doing well. And even if you don't want to invest, there's always rainy days. And you never know. Right now, they say most Americans can't afford a sudden bill of $400. I want y'all to sit back and think about that for a minute. Most Americans can't afford a sudden bill of $400. You know how deep that is? Do you know how deep that fucking is? You can't afford a bill of $400. You always want some savings. Don't you want to manage your money. You want to put away for that rainy day, especially if you're making extra money. There's a lot of little stuff you don't need. A lot of that tricking some people doing or spending extra money on some women that barely like them. Shoot, put that in your savings. Because you never know. You could want to invest in a business. Something can happen with your job. Shoot, even now with YouTube, there's always some mess. So even with YouTube creators especially need a savings account. Shoot, get 2 or 3, put them in different places. Shoot, put some money into the matches, but invest in those savings. But ultimately, you want to use that money to get your life together. It's not even about the woman. At the end of the day, the woman is the commercial to your program. Get your shit together. Have a relationship with yourself. Your first relationship is to yourself. Spend money on yourself. Spend money improving yourself, improving your mind, improving your body, looking good, being able to live in comfort. That's how money should be used in the game. Whether or not that attracts a particular woman, that's up to that woman. But at the end of the day, you the one got to live with yourself. So that's how you use money in the game. Don't use money to attract a woman, because if you use money to attract a woman and some guys still argue for that, she ain't attracted to you. She attracted to your money. So the next highest bidder come along and boom, she's out. And personally, I actually have more respect, and I'm gonna just put it out like that. I got more respect for somebody who just straight up pay for the pussy, because at least they know, they got it in perspective. I don't judge them on that. But don't think you're gonna get don't think you're gonna get a good wife or whatever on that. Trust me, man, I got so many stories with that. Women got some guy got a lot of money, but they cheating with some broke dude. So anyway, that's how money should be used in the game. So I'll get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.